Starting live.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Woo!
Welcome back to J-Gas, Justin.
That sounds terrible. Jake. The problem was, well, one, the letters fell down. And I want to do something different. So if you were watching it, it didn't seem like it was exactly the same thing. And then it got blocked by our heads last week. So it is what it is.
It is Jags. We haven't changed the name of the show again.
You know what? I met somebody. They have a vinyl printer. They're going to make us a cool sign.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, anyway. So there you go. Welcome.
How was your Christmas?
Absolutely.
Rumor has it you're a douche now.
I am a douche. It is, in fact, Santa brought me an Apple Watch.
So
far, so good.
Is it awesome?
It's not unbelievably amazing. I've only had it like 2 or 3 days. But it's cool. And there's some things that it does that I'm figuring out how to like put it in my life cycle. That I like it.
Does it tell the time?
I think so.
Isn't that funny how we replaced our watches with cell phones? Someone says, do you have the time? And we're like, oh, I got a cell phone. And now we're going back to the watch.
Well, it's handy having this on my wrist. Honestly, the biggest thing for me. I've because you can pick your faces. It has my calendar in here. And that's good because there's a lot of days where in the morning I get a phone call from somebody. And as soon as I see their name and number on the phone, I'm like, I forgot the meeting.
Right.
Anyway, so there we go.
Mail call in the camp office.
Mm-hmm.
You got that quote?
No.
I'll get you a gift card if someone can quote what TV show. Hint, YTV. What YTV show that was growing up. Anyway, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about... Oh, got to turn this down. Well, we're talking about the fact that we don't have a producer tonight.
No
We've had,
producers.
It's like Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events.
So we're producing
Somebody had a death in the family. My wife was sick last night, passed out. She broke her fall on the floor, which was great, and knocked a tooth partially out. So
if it looks weird, we actually are producing ourselves tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is great because we're kind of millennials, so we're multitaskers. It's what we do.
You guys can't see it on the frame. We've got a laptop, we've got an iPad, we've got a phone, and we're trying to take your comments and maybe make this show a little bit more interactive. So tonight, what are we talking about, Greg?
We are talking about the best of 2016.
Absolutely. Well, it's really easy to I think looking on the negative is always easier, and there's a number of things in 2016 that clearly...
Like what, Justin? Like what?
We've got an election that some people are bent out of shape over. We've got a lot of celebrities dropping like flies in 2016. Celebrities and musicians, and we don't want to focus on that because we want to think about intentionally what was good in 2016. And so we want to hear from you guys. Start dropping your comments. We're going to bring it into the show, and if we're randomly looking off the side, we're trying to get your comments in a little bit more in this week's show.
Yeah, we want to. And to start off, Rick. Camp Caribou. That was what it was. Camp Caribou.
Oh, he got it.
Did you ever watch that show?
No.
I've got a head like a ping pong ball. No. Anyway, Rick knows.
Yeah.
So best of 2016. Justin, give me some of give a personal moment of why 2016 of what resonates with you.
Personally, for me, it was the year of the vlog. That was a big thing for me.
Vlog.
Doing a vlog.
Oh, you mentioned the vlog.
168 episodes. And for me, that was really about getting out and exploring Regina and the place that I live and breathe. And so I've discovered a lot more great things about this place. For me, that was a big learning experience. But more than that, I'm so thankful for 2016 because I honestly met so many people through that exercise. I now have so many more of these connections that are absolutely phenomenal.
It's one of the things that we need to do more, and by we I mean probably everyone, is to get out there and meet people more. And the vlog allowed you to do that.
Well, and there's a lot of really cool people in this city that if you kind of stay in all your same circle of people, you don't meet. But I'm telling you, getting out there more. Random story, I had coffee with Rick earlier, and he talked about how his neighbors actually get together and do stuff, and I'm so jealous of that.
Wait a minute, you know your neighbors, Rick?
He knows his neighbors, and they have a Facebook thread, and they actually do what we all want to do with our neighbors, which is have block parties and get together and do that. Anyway, that is my commitment for 2017. I'm going to get to know my neighbors better, buy a 100-foot natural gas line so I can get my barbecue out on the street, get everybody partying.
That would be fun.
I think it would be fun. Anyway.
I want to do a quick pause. If you're watching this, I want to say thanks because you could be watching the World Juniors like everyone else in the country. Mm-hmm. And I hear our boy Connor from Imperial, Saskatchewan is pitching a shutout right now.
I think it's 5-0 in the third, which is probably why we're not watching because that game was
right. And maybe you're not watching.
Over before it started.
Remember that chant, AO Canada Go? That was bad.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do, Pepsi. I'm not going to do your chant.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely.
My personal goal for 2016 was I'm a dad. I have to say that now.
Absolutely.
We have a little girl at home. She's watching right now. She's a big fan of the show, I'm sure.
How old is she? 3 months?
She's like not even.
No.
She's 2 weeks.
Perfect.
Or 2 months. 2 months.
2 months, okay. Yeah.
We're having fun.
Congratulations. Obviously, that's a big life change.
Rumor has it.
It's amazing. I was thinking about this. Why didn't I take more advantage of being a dink? You know, double income, no kids.
Clarify, DINK is an acronym for double income, no kids.
God, I had so much free time. I didn't even realize it.
That is like the one lesson I've learned is, wow, I had a lot of free time. Mm-hmm. A lot of free time.
2017, you'll have a lot less free time than you did in 2016.
Yeah, but do you want to know what's funny? Is I'm actually more efficient than I was pre-kid.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Because now I'm more selective of, I've got this precious hour that I'm going to use. Do I want to spend it on Fuller House Season 2? Maybe.
I don't think so.
Hey, that's between me and my Netflix account. None of your business. But it makes me more decisive that way, even at work too.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to waste that time.
So
anyway, it could be that job.
Let's talk about Regina. What was one of your favorite Regina moments of 2016? There was a few.
Yeah, there was a few. I think we're going to end up talking about the farewell game to Mosaic Stadium. Because that was a pretty special moment to be in Regina and be a part of that. And really Saskatchewan and people from here. That it was a pretty cool night.
So if you're not a Rough Riders fan, what? Like, this is what we do in Saskatchewan. Mm-hmm. And I moved from Calgary, just some context. We said goodbye to a stadium that meant a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, the thing's been there for like forever. If you don't know Saskatchewan, we basically only have one professional team, football team, Saskatchewan Roughriders, Canadian football, and it's like religion around here. And then the stadium that's been standing for 100 years is finally done, and there's a new stadium. But there's a lot of like big memories in there for such a football culture. But honestly, that place was a dump.
Thank you.
A giant dump.
I was so confused. My first game at Mosaic Stadium, I walked to go to the washroom with everyone else, and I walked to apparently the wrong side of the stadium, and I thought, where are the washrooms? And someone pointed, they're all the way over there. And I'm like, what? You want me to walk a kilometer to go to the washroom? Just have them on the same.
Then you basically have to walk through probably like sewage and other things pouring down on your head.
It was wild.
And you can't see. So I think that's probably the best thing about Mosaic. It is so dark in there, you can't see how disgusting it is. So anyway.
I say good riddance, Taylor Field, but I'm excited about the new Mosaic Stadium because
it's awesome.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like, I love new things, new shiny things, like Justin's watch. So good.
It's pretty sweet.
Now, you're a dad of a few. Mm-hmm. Did you get out to see any best of movies of 2016?
No.
Wow. Nothing?
I don't know that there was any great movies this year. There were some, like, there's always lots of, like, good movies.
Ghostbusters?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think there was, seriously, comments, and we've got this here. Was there a great movie in 2016? I don't know. The only movie that, like, I really, really enjoyed was this indie film called Hunt for the Wilder People. And it's on Netflix right now. Actually, we rented it on iTunes, and 2 days later they added it to Netflix. Ooh. Isn't that like the worst? Yeah. Oh, that gets me. But anyway,
that's all the time.
Other than that, I don't know. Was there any?
I went to see. So I grew up on Disney, like a lot of people. I went to see the Jungle Book that was remade into like the lifelike one. Yeah, it was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah, it was cool.
I haven't seen it.
And they're doing it with Beauty and the Beast. They did it with Cinderella. I mean, I'm a sucker for like nostalgia like that. So I will watch them all Disney. You have my 15. Is it $15 or $20 now?
How about TV shows?
Okay, let's get serious here. Can we just talk? I'll give you a couple TV shows, and then I want to dive into why I think TV.
Can we just clarify here?
Whoa.
Your wife, Brittany Gogol, says, an indie film, ... What does she mean by that?
What do you mean?
Is she... Okay, now I'm not... I actually dislike a lot of indie films because, like, I just don't get it. And I need happy endings. Like, if a movie has, like, leaves you on a sad ending, I don't like it. Hunt for the Wilder People, production value, excellent. Story, excellent. You will laugh. It's great. Highly recommend.
If I had to read that comment again, I would say, an indie film.
Yeah, I think she's rolling her eyes at me. Ridiculous.
I think she probably is. And I know her quite well.
She means Indiana Jones, I think Maddie O'Connell means. Not Indian Jones.
Welcome, Maddie.
Mm-hmm. Getting married this weekend.
Congrats, I'll see you there. Wearing the headband for the best man speech. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Perfect.
Here's my thing. So Rick says Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Rick, I do not want to confess this to you, but I just started watching Stranger Things today. I've saved it for my Christmas vacation, and so far so good. It's great.
How many episodes?
2. 1.5. I'm around the 2 mark. It's fascinating. There's been no spoilers. Please don't spoil it for me. And everyone swears by it. Like, there's cultural jokes everywhere about it or references. And I need to know what's going on.
I think it's crazy the speed and the quality of content that Netflix is putting out. Like, they've got to be one of the greatest companies in the world on a lot of levels for what they're doing. It is bizarre.
It is my favorite thing to talk about in terms of the business case. You'll remember, Netflix used to send DVDs in the mail, and not even good DVDs, like B class and C class, like Sharknado 4
Think about
DVDs.
how many businesses where it's like, we have these movies, but we don't guarantee that we're even going to give you them. Give us your 10 movies, and you might get 1 or 2 on there, and then some other ones. Like, it was a ridiculous business model.
Yeah, and they crushed.
Absolutely. Did you know Canada, did you ever on zip.ca? It was like Canadian Netflix, where you could actually, we got movies in the mail from zip.ca, but they died. As soon as Netflix went online, they died.
Yeah, I can imagine that. But, like, here's my reference, though. Netflix is there, no late fees. That was the big thing. Do you remember late fees, Blockbuster?
Yeah!
Rogers Video? Late fees? You had me panicking about late fees, because of course I'm using my parents' money like that long ago. And I got this card that gives me, I can watch this movie for, it used to be at one point just a day. I had one night to watch this movie.
You remember that?
And then I had to bring it back, or you're going to crush me with late fees. And if I didn't bring it back, I had to buy the movie. You get what you deserve, Blockbuster. I do not miss you.
Do you remember 99-cent rental places, like the corner stores?
No.
99-cent rentals?
No, I didn't have any.
We had this place by us, the Ting Lan, in our first house we bought.
I'm sorry?
It was called Ting Lan. That was the name of the corner store.
Ting Lan?
Ting Lan.
That's kind of cool.
And you could get Blu-rays for 99 cents, whereas like Blockbuster, they were like $6 or $7. But the problem was late fees. We would always rent it for a day and keep it for like $7.
Right.
And it was always like an $8 rental, not a $1 rental.
I had friends that would literally pay for the movie through their late fees.
Yeah.
But getting back to Netflix. So Netflix was doing like the mail-out thing, and then they shifted and put all these B-class movies online. And we thought, wow, this we all knew was coming. This is the future. But the secret to Netflix has been their content. And Ricky, you mentioned about Stranger Things. And how often does Netflix put out amazing content?
Absolutely. I think, like, for me, one of my favorite TV shows I watched this year was called 3%, which was by the director of City of Angels, which was this other kind of crazy but really interestingly shot. And so it kind of intrigued me. I'd seen the movie. But the entire thing was in subtitles because it's shot, I don't know, the director, I'm going to guess South America or something like that. I started watching it with like the dub versions, and they're doing lots of dub versions of things. Terrible. After 2 minutes, I was like, no. Yeah, you got to watch it with subtitles.
You can't do dubs.
Watch it with subtitles. But that was like a compelling, really good, all these like dystopian futures where like the world's different. And anyway, I really like it. Netflix is crushing it on content.
Most of my references for television are Netflix. Like, over the Christmas break, my wife and her family, they've been watching The Crown, which, I was telling you before the show, is the most expensive movie ever made. $160 million they've invested into this. In fact,
that's crazy.
They brought in a product specialist, someone who was like an expert in World War I or World War II, I think it was, like products, like Campbell's soup labels. And they would make sure that everything that you saw in the show was authentic.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Like, I can't even appreciate that until you tell me. But that's what Netflix is doing.
I just watched this movie the other night. I don't remember the name of it, but it's like these guys in a war zone, and there's like these beings showing up. But like the production value was fantastic. And Nathan Brank here is saying Netflix is all about documentaries. Beyond that, it's a struggle. I disagree. 100%, Nathan. 100%.
I'm laughing because Nathan and I have a hockey podcast we do on the side. Yeah. And Nathan knows how to stir it up online. And he's doing it now. So here's my thing about Netflix. When's the last time you saw an advertisement for a new show on television that still asks you, hey, come watch this show at this time and you can't watch it later?
Yeah.
That was like, I'm intrigued by it. Because to me, Netflix is... The real gem and jewel is the fact that you know me, Netflix.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can sit down in front of my television, computer, smartphone, and you know me. When you recommend me a title, there's a good chance that I trust you, and I'm going to watch it and like what I see.
Well, even going back to the Blockbuster analogy, back in the day was really, you had to judge based on the cover of the movie and the little markety write-up on the back whether it was any good or not.
Yeah.
But now with Netflix, you're basically going through... And there'll be some where the cover intrigues me or the genre, and I'll go and I look at the cover, and then I just hover over and it pops up and it's like 2 stars. And I'm like, oh, forget that.
Yeah.
And move on. But I'm finding out that Netflix is pretty good at pegging me, where when I see 4.5 stars, and I watch it, I like it.
You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the difference, too. So I signed up for Crave TV this weekend. Mm-hmm. They've got some original content. They're trying to get into the game. They've got things like Seinfeld, all of the seasons, and that's why I did my 1-month free trial.
Yeah, I want to try that.
But I logged into Crave and I was all excited, and it just felt weird. It felt like meeting someone for the first time because Netflix is my best friend and knows me and what I want, and I put all that work into the ratings and like it's dialed right in. And then Crave's like, "Hey, what are you craving?" I'm like, "I'm not sure I even trust you. Back off, Crave. I want to watch Seinfeld," and that's what I want to do. So Netflix, thank you for changing the game. Some of us, and you guys can let us know on the comments, you like HBO. And HBO, to me, and this is all subjective, I feel like it's been passed by Netflix. I really do. Like, Reed Hastings once said, his famous quote, "We want to become HBO before HBO becomes us." And I feel
Reed Hastings, that's Netflix CEO?
CEO, yeah. He has. Yeah. Like, I looked forward to every weekend logging onto Netflix when I have that spare 15 minutes when my daughter doesn't need attention, and finding out what's new. And there's always something new.
Well, and HBO is, I think, still crushing with content. But if you're in Canada, there was a show we wanted to watch. We tried to find a way to get it in Canada. We don't have cable, and we couldn't.
Legally.
Yeah. And we have resorted down a path like that. But, like, I think in the U.S. you can sign up for, like, HBO Go or HBO Now or something like that. But in Canada, there's no way to get it unless you've got the cable subscription. And I think that is going to kill people. Why am I not watching the World Juniors? I would love to watch the World Juniors. I'd even be fine to watch commercials on World Juniors. I'm not paying for cable. So basically what I do is text all my friends to find out, hey, do you have TSN? Can you send me your username password? But I would pay probably $5, $10 a month for TSN online. But that hopefully will get solved somewhere soon. If you're just tuning in, we are talking about 2016, recapping. We're trying to talk about the positive things. We're a little bit sidetracked right now, but it's a great discussion.
We love Netflix.
We love Netflix.
You did it.
So I think most of the best TV shows and movies were on Netflix. And we're even talking about going to the movie theater. Like, I'm collecting, I keep getting gifted these passes. My mom just got me one. You know the Costco passes?
Yeah.
You know, we got the best deal
I know
ever.
the Costco passes? Oh, yes.
I think some of it is maybe having kids. It's tough to find the time. But there just haven't been that many compelling movies where it's like, I've got to go see this movie in the theater. It's usually like, I'll wait and watch it at home.
Jared's actually saying, hands down, in my opinion, the best miniseries of 2016 was HBO's The Night Of. Jared, I'll check it out. I trust you on this. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it.
I haven't even heard of it.
So we're just going to take your word for it. You're on. Yeah. I'll trade you that for The Crown. We'll go shot for shot on The Crown.
Perfect. What else are we talking about? 16.
Best sporting event of 2016.
You're the sports guy.
Now, if you love sports like I do, you probably watch them all. Like, there's lots. Peyton Manning, his final game in the NFL. Sidney Crosby won the Stanley Cup. The best sporting event of 2016 was... The best sporting moment was the Chicago Cubs finally breaking the 106-year curse. That was pretty special. Yep. People hate baseball. It was cool to watch that. But the best sporting event, like it is every 2 years, was the Olympics. The Olympics, bar none, are the best sporting event whenever they're on. I will watch synchronized swimming. I will watch diving. I will watch anything. I will watch water polo in the Olympics because it's my team. And what I love so much about the Olympics, much like I love Netflix, is one, I can get it anywhere.
Yeah.
Two, it's high quality. And three, it's like they tell really good stories.
It's like the CBC does, like, I mean, love it or hate it. The Olympics they're awesome at. Absolutely brilliant.
They kill it. They absolutely kill it. And so what I think is hilarious is I'll go on to some of our communities, like Reddit, and people in America are trying to hack the Canadian channels because we are some of the best in the world at it. And I just sit there, I'm kind of like, hey, that's my crew.
I kid you not, during the Olympics, I had Olympics on the TV, a different stream on my iPad, and a different stream on my phone to watch the whole thing. Because you could just catch so much of it that was good.
And it's not even just watching it. It's like they break down for swimming that you got like Penny in her lane. Like, Penny, I can't pronounce your last name, Penny.
Alexia.
Penny
Penny
lane 6. I'm like, cool, lane 6. I know when something happens. It is next level, and I'm sure it's money, but I would love to see that kind of entertainment, that kind of coverage move into every single thing that I watch. And at CBC, if you're listening, I know you are, please invest in that. Because outside of the Olympics, I'm kind of hard on the CBC. Yeah. I really am. I look at the BBC, publicly funded, and they're crushing it. I know there's differences. Relax. But I want the CBC to start leading with this stuff, like they do the Olympics.
Do you know what my favorite moment of the Olympics was?
What?
It was when, what's the name of that? CBC broadcaster on Hockey Night in Canada. He's not a hockey guy, but he's actually good. I can't remember his name anyway. He messed up big when he was calling the race between Phelps and Lochte.
Elliot Friedman.
Elliot Friedman.
Yeah.
And he screwed it up. But what I loved was his humility where he came on right out and basically apologized on Twitter. He owned it. He said it was not right. He made a mistake and all these things. And it was awesome as compared to like Brian Williams, not the Canadian Brian Williams, but the American Brian Williams. Wasn't it him who had the big scandal of like misreporting him being in a helicopter with the Marines? And, but just the different take on that. Seeing that was gold. And I loved how I saw the whole community around him when they saw his humility just come and say, it happens to the best of us. You're going to be great. I really like Elliot Friedman. He's great.
Funny enough, he's my favorite hockey commentator. I think he's fantastic. His blog, 30 Thoughts, comes out once a week, once every 2 weeks. It's worth reading if you're a hockey fan. One of the commenters, Nathan Frank, said the NBA Finals was fantastic this year. Game 7. Here's something I want to stir up. If you like basketball, and I do sometimes, I'll watch the finals. LeBron James might be, and I'm going to say he is, the greatest basketball player of all time. And you're all rolling over. What I watched him do with that team in Cleveland, we're not going to get into it today because I know that we have a lot of things to cover on today. But talk about it in the comments, or you can message me online or on Twitter at Sir Greg Moore, at Justin Rivas, if you guys want to talk with us after. I think he is the greatest basketball player that we have, and I won't say we'll ever, but we'll have ever seen, and that includes Michael Jordan.
Crazy. If you're just tuning in, we're recapping 2016, the positive things, some of the best moments. Talked about top sporting event. Best Regina surprise of 2016. I'm gonna take this one. For me, it was Breakout West. And if you didn't hear about Breakout West, it was the Western Canadian Music Awards. They kind of go to different cities around every year. And they were in Regina this year. And I had a blast at that event. There was like 60 bands playing at all these different venues. And there was the award show. And I think some of it was honestly the people that I was with. It was really fun. I got to hang out with some of the Breakout West crew, but not enough people knew about it. And some of the venues honestly weren't all the best set up for it, but it was a really fun weekend. For me, that was like highlight of the year. Surprise.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. My Regina surprise, and I hate to do this live on air, was the vlog guy, Justin Rivas. I thought it was really cool. Regina has kind of a history of being hard on ourselves for some reason, that we're not good enough at the things we do. And I feel like you kind of put us on your back for a while there and said, hey, I'm going to dig and dig and dig and find out how great Regina is. And we did. So 168 episodes later, it was...
There's a lot of great stuff. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. But there is so much good stuff happening. And even when I think back in the last year, like a local company like Brood Awakening, one location in the East, basically in a year. I think they started at the very beginning of 16, might have been at the end of 15. They went from 1 store to 6 stores, I think.
Right.
And that's a big move for a Regina thing, but we talk about how we don't have any Starbucks here. It's fantastic.
We have a Broodney, though.
We have Broodney. Broodney was one of the greatest things.
Brood Awakening on Dudney, Broodney. A couple of guys having coffee there. You can call us Broods. Like, it never gets old.
I could list so many places I didn't even realize, like Tangerine for lunch, Orange for lunch. Hey, it's funny. Fruit Family. We've got Flip and Malt City, and there's the new Fat Badger, and Scar Street's revitalizing, and there's more entrepreneurs catching up, and Regina, there's good stuff happening.
Yeah, and Ricky Tiefenbach pointing out Coulter Wall as Regina surprise. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're going to talk about music. Coulter Wall, obviously breaking out. I'm finding some other people, like Megan Nash. If you haven't heard Megan Nash, she is fantastic. I've seen her a couple of times this year. Ran into her for coffee, too. Is really interesting.
What kind of music is Megan?
She's like, I guess it's kind of like folk rock, but she's just got, her voice is so powerful. Okay. Poor Nameless Boy. I think you know Joel Henderson as well.
Yeah, I went to see Joel, and I'm getting into the local music scene. Taryn Cochran, local music, so like he loves local music in Regina. I'm getting into it, Taryn. I went to his show, Poor Nameless Boy's, his album launch. It was stunning. I bought the album. It's my album of the year for local music. One, because I don't know a lot. Sorry, Coulter. Sorry, Megan.
Yeah.
But two, because it's fantastic. If you haven't heard it, it's worth your time.
And it's nice because some of these people are starting to break through. And like Trifecta Music Festival, I went to that too, and I caught some like good people. Low, L-O-A, Jessica Burnett, friend now, but she is killing it. She just released her single, and it went kind of crazy. And there's more and more people coming out of Regina. And my hat's off to the Trifecta group, because they're working with finding artists and making them great and getting them out there and finding exposure. And I think that's another amazing thing that's happening in Regina there on the music scene.
So speaking of not in Regina, what is your favorite artist outside of Regina? I'm talking like worldwide. They killed it this year. It was amazing.
So I'll be honest, I don't I kind of stay in my own lanes for music. I don't venture outside too much, except for our van has Sirius satellite radio. Now, we don't pay for the subscription, which is a whole other interesting conversation of how hard they work to try and get you to pay the money when it's not a good product. You know when the last time I thought about, oh, Netflix is $8, should I pay again this month? Years. So good. Anyway, Sirius is a whole other side.
Right, it's like water. You need it.
Yeah, you need it. But you got like the preview channel. Every once I'll pick up things. And so it's probably like so cliche and people have been listening to it for years, but it's like Chainsmokers. And then there's this guy, I think, Martin Garrix. But they're DJs, but they find these amazing singers and they put it together. And I've kind of been enjoying that. Maybe that's bad to come out and say that. But yeah.
You enjoyed chain smoking.
Chainsmokers.
You heard? Oh, the band.
No, people who chain smoke.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, okay.
I like that. So my pick, and you're going to hate me for this, is... Okay, let me just clarify this first. Have you ever heard like the term earworms, when a song just gets locked in your brain? You can't get rid of it. Well, one of my favorite bands from eons ago is called Manin. And I listened to their music for so long, this one song, that I got sick. I was physically ill because the earworm was so deep into my head that I couldn't get rid of it.
That's like, this is only going to be for people in a certain time period. Dashboard Confessional during high school years, if you grew up with that and you had heartbreak, it would take you from like feeling okay, you'd listen to some Dashboard, and you were like down sobbing in your bedroom into your
Hands down, this is the best night I can ever remember. I'll always remember.
You got it. I got it. Yeah, absolutely. Dashboard song. It just takes me back to
the lyric.
I have to sing, this is the best thing I can ever remember, always remember, the sound in my face. Anyway,
okay, not bad.
Got it, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, the reason, like my pick for worldwide music, the song that I love so much, is because it's an earworm for me. It's Drake, One Dance from his Views album. I'm not a big music guy. Anyone that knows me knows this. I can't get enough of I
love the Drake, eh?
You can ask people in my office. I'll play it like 8 hours straight. And Taryn, who used to work with me, I played music for him, the same song 8 hours in a row.
Oh, man.
I can't help myself. I get into it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Music, yeah.
Tell me one thing. What was one of the coolest things you saw/learned this week?
Okay, so for me, it was actually tonight. It just happened. I don't know if you've seen this at McDonald's. They now have these giant screens. And you can go to the screens and you can order yourself. And for me, like, I love self-checkout. Self-checkout is the greatest thing, barring the fact that they need a beginner lane and an expert lane. Because there's nothing worse than getting stuck behind a beginner. True. It needs to be like, this till is for beginners, and a way of somebody flagging it and saying, excuse me, sir, can you go over the beginner lane?
Yes.
Because, like, I can pound through self-checkout really fast.
I actually take pride in it.
Like, yeah. Beep, beep, yeah, exactly.
One bag, pay pass, I'm out of here.
Anyway, I take a lot of pride in my McDonald's history as well. As, I know you do too. But they now have these screens where you can go and you can order, which is fine, but you can now build your own burger. If you're not following me on Snapchat, Justin Rivas, you should, and you should see my story of the burger I built. It came out on like this charcuterie board, and it was the best McDonald's burger I ever had, probably because I designed it. But you get to pick all your toppings and do all. It was a lot of fun. And the quality of it, sometimes, when you open that Big Mac and you're like, oh my God, who made this? It's terrible.
It wasn't me.
This was perfect. And they were out of salad, which was a little bit bizarre. I'm trying to make healthy choices because of my Apple Watch. And so he offered me a free poutine. I said yes.
Healthy choices, yeah. Apple Watch. One of these things doesn't add up. McDonald's. So I had the same experience. I walked into McDonald's one day because the drive-thru was crazy. Mm-hmm. And the manager there said, hey, can I interest you in a free combo if you buy a burger? I said, sure, I'll try it out. Yeah. So I built this incredible burger. And then she hands me this little thing like you get at Moxie's.
Yeah.
Go have a seat.
Beeper, yeah.
And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, when it goes off, I'll bring your burger. So I sat down in McDonald's, and this waitress comes to me and says, hey, sir, which she got right, sir.
Sir Gregory Moore.
Yeah, what can I get for you to drink? And I said, excuse me? And she said, yeah, like, do you ever drink it? I said, no. And she's like, I'll get it for you. So I'm sitting down, and I'm like, I'll get a Fruitopia. She goes, she's like, yeah, I'll be right back. Gets my Fruitopia, says your meal will be here in 1 minute. Like, she served me.
Yeah.
Brought it out in a nice big bag. My burger opened up, and I thought, where am I?
Do you know what the nice thing is? They didn't ask for a tip.
Well, yeah. Remember that tipping conversation?
The most amazing thing about this, and this is what will be fascinating to see, which I think is a brilliant new move on McDonald's part, is this whole building your burger thing. Do you know what they're doing? They're just getting data from you on what you actually like so that they can build products to sell back to you. And it's brilliant because normally they have to guess, or maybe they can do some market research, or they bring McRib in for a little bit and they take it out, or they bring these things in and out. They're getting so much data from, like for me, I picked grainy mustard and mayo. You know, it's just like, oh, that's an interesting choice. And they have fried mushrooms and they have caramelized onions but they're figuring out the kinds of toppings and things that people are building all over the world, and then they can package it up and sell it back to us.
It's like you always hear this word big data, which doesn't mean anything to a lot of people, but they're doing the same thing that Netflix has done for me with the burger. And so I can imagine in a year's time that different pockets, like, oh, Regina, Saskatchewan, or Southern Saskatchewan loves grainy mustard or lentils on their burgers, whereas the East Coast, I mean, Nova Scotia, they've got McLobster out there.
But they can make more micro-targeted decisions with a lot better data. And so it's brilliant on their part. The experience was fantastic. Same thing as like, can I get you some napkins? Can I bring you some ketchup?
Wow.
It was awesome.
So thank you, McDonald's.
You had something, though. What did you learn?
You rock my world. So this is weird because I'm out at my in-laws' farm, and they have television. So I'm watching live TV. I watch it for like 30 seconds. And there was this crazy show on there about this inventor who invented he can put out fires from sound waves.
What?
So it's like this gun or this giant speaker, and they just fire this intense sound at the fire.
What?
Boom, gone. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then he rocked my world again, being a guy who loves drones. We didn't even get into Amazon drone last time, did we?
We didn't, no.
And he had like this fleet of micro drones, like so really small drones that would move in tandem with each other to target fire. And I thought I was watching something sci-fi. I was watching the future is what it was. He had this fleet of 10 drones. So I thought, hey, we should buy like 10 drones, program them. You imagine walking down the street. Like we're so close to us being like sitting here in the show and having like micro drones like cleaning your windows. You know, got the drone fleet cleaning the windows or cleaning the eavesdrops. Like this future is so close. I'm so excited.
Who has a Roomba? I want to hear the stories about a Roomba. Do you have a Roomba?
Oh, yeah.
I've been looking at getting one.
Okay, so Roomba, I was a bit skeptical at first. Hey, it's a vacuum that cleans your house. It's fantastic. Like, my wife, who's probably watching the show right now, is always like, hey, Greg, can you vacuum this? Can you vacuum that? And I'm like, yeah, of course. I'll get it done. The Roomba, you can even schedule it. It just does the whole house while you're away at work or while you're away getting groceries or whatever. And I can't explain to you the feeling that when you walk into a house and have a freshly cleaned carpet, and you're like, wow, I didn't have to do anything for that.
I can only imagine.
It's amazing. Now, what one setback is if you're really OCD, like some people watching this show might be, you don't get the perfect lines in your carpet, right? It kind of looks like chaos. Yeah. So it might drive you nuts, but as long as it's clean, I'm happy. I'm an easy customer that way. So like the future, I know we talked about it last week, the future is coming.
I love the idea of things doing things for us that we don't have to do. It's amazing.
Oh, my
And I think people are very afraid about it. They probably said the same thing about dishwashers.
Right?
But come on, dishwashers. Greatest thing ever.
Dishwashers changed my life. So here's what I want to know, Justin. 2017 is coming up. I won't make you do a New Year's resolution on air, but what I want to know is what's one thing you want to do in 2017 differently or start or that sort of thing?
Well, for me, like, I guess professionally, is I'm taking so much of what I learned in this past year between doing the vlog as well as doing some pilot projects with some of my clients, and I'm going to try and scale them bigger and see if I can expand that. I mean, just from my world, Facebook, we're on Facebook Live, is such an opportunity for businesses to own the whole city. And nobody's doing it.
No one.
In fact, one of my clients is doing it, but I'm going to take that and expand that to a few other people. And I think, see a little bit more stuff there. So,
boom.
For me, it's really about taking knowledge and experimenting and continue to experiment. And I mean, I think we make fun of me for being a little bit culturally ignorant sometimes.
We do a lot. Yeah.
I don't know all that stuff. I spent most of my time growing up just trying new things, and I didn't consume as much content. Some of that wasn't my choice. Like, we had bunny ears, and like STV back in the day came in a little snowy, so it was really like 2 channels. So you had to do things. So I don't know. I learned to play music and build websites and build computers and did lots of not all nerdy things, but some nerdy stuff.
This is an interesting topic because I want to get into it, and I know that we're running out of time.
Okay.
But the idea of creativity and the need for boredom. And we were talking about this today at the dinner table about how we're always on our phones.
Yep.
Always on our phones. That we actually never have to be bored again with our smartphones. I've got Twitter, Facebook, all my social channels. I can call anyone. I can message them. I can do or learn anything anytime I want. I never have to be bored. But what are we losing by not experiencing boredom? And some of the greatest moments I have with some of my friends are when we've reached this peak or this like ultimate valley of like I'm going to die because I'm so bored, and then boom, brilliance.
Yep.
Or maybe it wasn't brilliant. It was something fun, something creative was birthed out of that moment, and it saved the day or saved the moment.
Yeah. I'm just laughing and thinking back. Do you remember reading shampoo bottles when you take a poo?
Oh, or in
You
the shower.
knew, like everything,
In the
you know,
shower.
and you're just like, you're bored, and so you're like, I'm so bored, what I'm going to do? I'm actually kind of worried because, like, there's times where I can leave my phone, and now I have this thing on my wrist, but it doesn't actually really do anything interesting other than give you notifications. Like, today I was thinking, like, I wonder if it should have games or something I could do. I'm happy that it doesn't.
Yeah, me
but, like,
too.
I'm trying to find more time where I just, like, put my devices away and just have some time to stop and think. Which I think a lot of brilliance comes out of that.
Yeah, and I think that is important. Let us know what you think. So for my 2017, not New Year's resolution, is I want to spend less time on my phone. I want to put my phone away more often. I'm trying to do what Simon Sinek in that video recommended we do, put our phone outside of our room and have a real alarm clock. I want to try that for a period of time.
That'll be interesting.
And see if that gives me anxiety by not know what's going on in the world right now. Like I'm sure the World Juniors is done now.
Yeah.
And that we won
What's the
like
score?
10-0 or something like that. But
Maybe last thought, but I think this is interesting. If you're thinking about New Year's resolutions or things, I think it's tough to make like big decisions. But a mentor of mine, I love this. He'll ask me 3 questions, and he will say, "What's something personally for you in yourself that you know that you need to work on? Mm-hmm. Like what's maybe a weakness or something that you know that you need to deal with in your own life?" He'll say, "Who are some people around you that you need to pour into or give into or help mentor or help them grow?" And the third one he asked me is, "What do you need to do for your family, so they can be healthy and thrive?" And so that's something that personally I've been like thinking through. And the first one for me is like, I don't want to find my identity in what I do. I just want it to be based on who I am. And then I've got some people in my life where I'm like, I want to spend more time, pouring into these people or spending more time. You can always get back other ways. And then the third one for my family is kind of what you're saying. I want to be present. Like it's so hard to be present with your family and your kids and engaged and not. Easy to pick up your phone and be on your phone. It's also really easy to be a million miles away even though you're sitting right there.
it's wild.
Like, it's bizarre.
So that's our challenge from Jags, from the Justin Gray Show to you this 2017. Is as much as we want to talk about marketing and advertising and tech on this show and social and cultural events, try and challenge yourself to be more present and be on your phone a little bit less, whether that's a dinner out with your friends or family or a car ride even, and see what happens.
Absolutely. Life's about people, and it's also about, I think, creativity, and that can take away from that. It's brilliant. I love it.
Boom. Speaking of creativity, so I have a wedding this weekend that I got to go to, and I have this terrible, terrible beard right now. So I need a place to go, one, to get my beard trimmed. That's really important for me.
Yeah.
So if you can let me know in the comments where to do that, my wife and watching the show, Maddie O'Connell, the groom, I guess his bride-to-be, Kendall will appreciate that as well. I need that Wednesday or Thursday, so it's got to be like a quick sort of walk-in thing. And we got the
giveaways. We were supposed to do this at the beginning. We forgot. Winner of the mugs, we said last week, if you shared the show, you were going to win the mugs. So Lumberjacks mugs went to Christelle Eddy.
Hey, Christelle, pour it out.
Send us a message. You can get that.
As
what
well,
else?
We said a comment of the week last week. So if you watched last week's show, we talked about millennials, and if your name is Justin Rivas, you actually learned what a millennial was. The answer is not Jimmy Fallon.
No, I learned how old Jimmy Fallon was.
Oh, right.
I maybe
Sorry,
knew where
you
he
knew
was.
what a millennial was.
Anyway, yeah.
But the comment of the week was James Rathwell was very quick on it to say probably one of the most impactful,
he's the most
world-changing millennials we know is some guy named Zuckerberg.
Anyway.
So James, you get the Brood Awakening gift card this week.
$10 you can buy a coffee.
You can buy a coffee.
$10.
I won't even tell you what size because I don't know. But
it depends.
It will be a coffee. You get that. So
perfect.
That's what I have for the show this week.
Yeah.
What I want from you watching the show is what do you want us to cover? Like it's 2017, the year's brand new. The show is developing a format. It's getting there. We're producerless this week. What do you want us to cover? Is there an event you want us to cover? Is there something you want us to talk about? We love talking about Regina, the culture, tech, advertising, marketing. That's our stuff. We love cool stuff, and we'll continue to talk about that. But if there's something that's grinding your gears or you want us to cover that you're just so jonesed about it, let us know.
Absolutely. And we appreciate the feedback so much. We'll keep asking for this. Send us your comments. Send it, if you've got something really nice to say, drop in a comment. If you've got something horrible to say, send us a private message.
And
Or public comment.
and theme song. We got to worry about the theme
Yeah,
song.
we do need a theme song.
Next
Next
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
And a sign out too, like
Same time.
same bat channel sort of thing. Did you watch that show, Adam West, Batman?
I did see some of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I want to say, let's do cliche. See you guys next year.
Oh, that's a
think
good
so.
dad joke. I can
Right?
do that now. Yeah, see you next year.
Okay, that's it. We're going to stop. Stop broadcast. Stop
See you
it.
later.
Stop it.
See you.
Stop it.
See you next year.
See you next year.
That's so
See you
funny.
next year.